Is Pluto's removal unjust? A vote in 2006 kicked Pluto out of planetary status. But this decision seems to have been made too hastily. Because since then, New Horizons has discovered more truth. Pluto's subsurface could hide a liquid ocean. Its atmosphere will have rhythmic changes. It has 5 satellites. That's more than Mars has moons. And Pluto has active ice volcanoes on its surface. This planet is bigger than scientists had previously suspected. Be more active. So, why are scientists so cruel to kick Pluto away? Can Pluto be rehabilitated? To answer this question, we have to figure out what a planet is first. For a long time, in astronomy, the word planet. In fact, there is no strict scientific definition. Basically, it's bigger than an asteroid. A celestial body orbiting the sun is considered a planet. This vague standard. After Pluto was discovered in 1930, it is logical to sit on the throne of the 9th planet. But then things took a turn in 2005. Astronomers are farther from the sun. A celestial object named Philistrum has been discovered. It's not just in the Kuiper Belt like Pluto, and it's 27% more massive than Pluto. Now we're in trouble. If Pluto were a planet, but is a god star, is the solar system going to have a 10th planet? And here's what's even worse. With the advance of observation technology, scientists have discovered one after another in the Kuiper Belt, Haumea, and a whole bunch of similar objects. And this trend continues. The number of planets in the solar system may skyrocket to dozens. This is obviously not the situation that the scientific community wants to see. We need a clear definition of a planet. Therefore, in August 2006, the International Astronomical Union holds a conference in Prague. Devoted to this issue, after intense debate, they finally voted it through. The new definition of a planet. 3 criteria are indispensable. 1. You have to orbit the sun. The second mass is large enough. Its own attractive force can make it spherical. Third, be able to clear other celestial bodies in the vicinity of orbit. The first 2 are easy to understand. The crux of the matter lies in the third. What is clear track? Basically, the mass of this celestial body should be large enough. Attractive force must be strong enough. Can put other messy little celestial bodies in orbit, or suck it up as a satellite, or just smash it, or dump it somewhere else. Anyway, he must be the absolute overlord of his own orbit. Pluto just fell on this one. It's an endogenous location in the Kuiper Belt. It's so dense, squeezed thousands of icy objects. Pluto is only 1/6 the mass of the moon, can't control so many neighbors. According to the new definition, he doesn't meet criterion number 3, so it can only be relegated to a dwarf planet. This decision blew up on the spot. Only 424 scientists participated in the poll. Total number of members of the International Astronomical Union, less than 5%. Many scientists, for various reasons, failed to vote on site. Afterwards, they expressed their dissatisfaction. And here's the irony. On the last day of the conference, this definition was hastily voted on. Even the members of his committee who drafted him, people voted against. Chief scientist of NASA's New Horizons mission, Alan Stern, the representative of the opposition, he said bluntly, "That's a ridiculous definition. According to this standard, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Neptune, all have to be expelled."
Because they also have asteroids in their orbits?
He pointed out that the so-called clearing track is sort of an ambiguous concept. There is no clear quantitative standard, and even more deadly, this definition only applies to the solar system. Completely ignore the existence of exoplanets. Those planets that orbit other stars? How can it be hard? Dow wants to be renamed an extrasolar flying star to find an argument. There are scientists, even rummaged through the astronomical literature of the past 200 years, found only one paper from 1802. Used the standard of clear track, and the conclusion of the paper was later proved wrong. But criticism is criticism. The planet definition still passed. Pluto was kicked out of the planetary family, classified as a dwarf planet along with Archaea. Textbooks all over the world have to be reprinted, from the 9 planets of the solar system to the 8 planets. People are angry about Pluto. The New Mexico state legislature even past a resolution announce Pluto will always be the 9th planet above the state. But what the scientific community didn't expect was, in the same year that Pluto was delisted, a probe called New Horizons has embarked on a journey to Pluto. The probe was launched on January 19, 2006, 7 months before Pluto was downgraded. July 14, 2015, New Horizons has finally arrived at Pluto. When the first high-definition photos were beamed back to Earth, everyone was stunned. Pluto's surface. There's a huge heart-shaped area. It's a heart-shaped plane that's been named Tombaugh. More than 1,600 kilometers wide. The left half is called Sputnik Plain, covered with thick egg ice. The most shocking thing is, there are almost no craters on this plain. The solar system is 4.60 billion years old. Any exposed surface should have been hit by countless meteorites. It's riddled with holes. The lunar surface is densely packed with craters. It's the best proof. But this plain of Pluto, smooth like a freshly paved ice rink. Scientists have calculated that the geological age of the Sputnik Plain, no more than 10 million years. There are also regular polygonal patterns on the plain, 20-30 kilometers in diameter, arranged like a beehive. How are these polygons formed? Scientists discovered after research. The heat inside Pluto is driving the surface nitrogen ice to tumble slowly. Keep smoothing out craters. Create a new landscape. But this poses a fatal problem. Where does the heat come from? Pluto is 5.90 billion kilometers from the Sun. Surface temperature minus 223 degrees. Such a small celestial body. The inside should have been cold long ago. Logically speaking, it should be a lifeless lump of ice. In 2019, by analyzing gravity data from New Horizons, scientists have an answer. Under Pluto's icy shell, hidden in an ocean of liquid, this ocean lies 150,200 kilometers below the surface. So here's the problem. How can it remain liquid in such a cold place? Liquid water in an environment of minus 200 degrees. It doesn't freeze. Secret may lie in the presence of ammonia. Ammonia is like car antifreeze, can significantly reduce the freezing point of water, the heat that keeps the ocean warm. From the decay of radioactive elements inside Pluto, and the latent heat released when the subsurface ocean itself freezes, even more shocking discoveries lie ahead. 2025, published in the journal Nature Geoscience. The latest research. Shown in the southwest of the Novel Plains, hidden beneath a giant ice volcano. One of the tallest, right? Mountains as high as 5 kilometers, the size of Mauna Loa in Hawaii. This is one of the largest volcanoes on Earth. These ice volcanoes are not dead volcanoes. They've all shown signs of activity recently. Only, they didn't erupt magma at over 1,000 degrees. It's a slurry of water ice, ammonia, and methane. In the extreme cold of Pluto, this ice slurry squeezes out slowly like toothpaste. They cool down, and they pile up. The whole process may have taken hundreds of millions of years. New Horizons is still in Pluto's atmosphere. Discovered an amazing secret. It's extremely thin atmosphere. The density is only 1/1 million of that of the Earth. But it can reach an altitude of 1,600 kilometers. Scientists are still in the atmosphere. Ethylene acetylene detected. Complex organic molecules such as hydrogen cyanide. These molecules are exposed to ultraviolet rays from the sun. It forms a reddish-brown organic substance called phosphorus, covered at the poles of Pluto. And locked phosphorus is precisely the precursor substance of life. On the early Earth, and it was this organic stuff that eventually gave rise to life. This means that Pluto may be preserved, primordial organic matter in the early days of the solar system, even in the subsurface ocean. Under the right temperature and chemical conditions, in theory, it is possible that some simple life form could be conceived. Now, let's revisit that definition of a planet in 2006. Pluto did not clear its orbit, but the standard itself is hugely controversial. Scientists have pointed out that even Jupiter, it wouldn't be empty if you put it in the Kuiper belt. The farther that orbit is from the Sun, the larger the area that needs to be cleared, the more mass you need. Measure by this standard itself is unfair to the outer celestial bodies. And here's the irony. By geologically active level, Pluto is more active than many orthodox planets. Mercury's surface is covered with the interior of the crater has long since cooled. There's no geological activity whatsoever. If we define planets by their activity, that is to say, to see if it has sustained geological activity, complex internal structure of dynamic atmospheric systems, at Pluto, certainly more qualified to be called a planet than Mercury. So does Pluto deserve to be a planet? What do you think?